Dear students, welcome back. It is the fourth video for week 7 and we are learning the state structure of Pakistan. Dear students, in the video 3rd, we learned about the legislative branch, Qanun Saz Idare, which include the National Assembly, Parliament, and the provincial assemblies. There we learned that lawmaking is one of the supreme function of the parliament, and law actually regulates the lives of the people and it settles new targets for the state and guides the officials and departments to function accordingly. But the students living in the human society, there always happen different kind of clashes, clash of interests, okay, and as being human, there people commit different kind of crimes or violate the rules. Well, to decide between them that what is right and what is wrong, what is ethical and unethical, what is legal and illegal, law, judiciary, mean court systems are established. Court system is one of the major department and the backbone that maintains harmony and settle the disputes among the departments and the people. The failure of the court system of a country is the failure of the state. Okay, as you all understand that prevailing of justice is the major responsibility about the state. Therefore, the court system is which ensures the fundamental rights and secures the other issues. Well, now in short, I'm talking about the judicial system of Pakistan. The current judicial system of Pakistan is inherited from the British Raj. Mean the British, when they conquered subcontinent, they introduced their own system and replaced the old court system of the Mughals or the princely states. Clear? The British system actually is the system of government which was prevailing in the other countries of the Europe. And your British system is also the mother of many systems in the colonial world, like in subcontinent, in the Australia, South Africa. I mean, wherever the British went, they introduced their system, judicial system, and the lives of the people are still, the system of the governments are still on the pattern of the Western judiciary, Western political system. But the judicial system was much influenced by the American in 1950s in our country. Well, let me here praise the American system that in America, the division of power is very important. Mean no organ of the state interferes into the functions of the other. Mean their Congress is altogether independent in making law and courts never interfere. Okay, President of America is altogether strong administrator who deploys and applies the rules devised by the Congress, and there is no pressure on it. And the judicial system of America is so powerful that it never comes under the impression of the other. Let's for example, in the former president reign, Donald Trump, he ordered to stop the foreign immigrants to America. American airports were closed. People were halted at the different positions, different countries. Okay, what they did? There was no demonstration. Like, first of all, what they took, they went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court heard both the parties. Okay, and found it that the orders of the President of America are illegal, and they are directly contradictory to the fundamental rights which are against fundamental rights which have been conferred to the people in the Constitution of America. And Supreme Court ordered, and the sanctions were lifted, and people started moving. This is what is the power of the judiciary, and more is the independent, more is the we can say, the separation of power. I mean, every organ of the state is independent, fair, and clear in its directions. Clear? And the later on, under that impression, fundamental rights were included. Clear? For example, if we read the Constitution of Pakistan 1973, it is all agreed constitution. Okay, 1973. First 9 articles are the fundamental right to live, right to education, right to speak, right to move, okay, right to observe religious sacramental, or according to the religion, performing the activities, that all have been provided in the Article 1 to 9 of the Constitution of Pakistan. Under the Constitution 1973, there is a Supreme Court of Pakistan. I mean, the highest court is the Supreme Court of Pakistan. Okay, then under the Supreme Court are the high courts on every province. I mean, High Court Sindh, High Court Balochistan, High Court Punjab, High Court KPK, and High Court Azad Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, and under the high courts at the district levels are district courts. Okay, and then the courts are further divided into civil courts and into criminal courts, anti-terrorist courts, okay, environmental courts, this and that. Well, parallel to the Supreme Court of Pakistan, to observe the Islamic rules and regulations, there is a federal Shariat court. I mean, all the decisions, law, and other moves which are taken in state of Pakistan, these mean something which is against the rule of Islam, that can be challenged in the federal Shariat court. Clear? Let's explore further through a chart. Supreme Court of Pakistan is the highest court. Okay, and parallel to Supreme Court is the Shariat Appellate Bench. Clear? This is the Shariat Appellate Bench. I mean, Shariat Appellate Bench actually is a further division of the Supreme Court. It is equivalent. Okay. Now, Supreme Court of Pakistan, under the Supreme Court are Sindh High Court, Lahore High Court, Peshawar High Court, Balochistan High Court, Islamabad High Court for the federal. Okay. And similarly, under the Shariat Court are the Federal Shariat Court is in Islamabad, and under the Federal Shariat Court, just like high courts, are the special tribunals for all the provinces. Clear? Provincial Services Tribunal, Federal Service Tribunal, Competition Appellate Tribunals. They are the tribunals are actually some special courts which are devised for other administrative purposes. Clear? I will define it. Now come to the high, mean or the level of every province there is a high court. Okay, then under the high court of every province is a district and session court. Clear? And district mean the session judge is the highest judge at the district level. Clear? And then there are two types of judges: session judge, additional session judge. Mean additional session judge is the one who assists the judge. Then there are district and session judges. Mean there are other people of the same rank. Down is senior civil judge. Clear? And then senior civil judge, judicial magistrate class 1, judicial magistrate class 2, civil magistrate, judicial magistrate class 3. Okay, then dear students, under every court we can divide further. We divide the court system into two. One is called the criminal courts, in which the crimes are dealt, Faujdari Muqaddamat. Others are called civil courts. Civil courts in which people talk about their own rights, rules and regulations, business, they all deal in civil courts. Whereas the criminal courts, murder, kidnapping, terrorism, they all are called in the criminal courts. Fine. And then at the every level is a court. Under the high court is a session court. Under the session court are tehsil level courts, and then this is the judges. Fine. And similar fashion is in the Sindh and Peshawar and Balochistan and Islamabad. Okay, now come to another level. That under the high court are some special courts and tribunals which time to time are established by the government. जब मुल्क के अंदर कोई नया मसला आ जाता है, कोई नई चीज आ जाती है, clear? तो under the high court there are various special courts. तो उनको हम क्या कह देते हैं? Special courts. For example, anti-narcotics, to control the spreading of the narcotics, नशियात के इंसदाद के लिए जो courts होती हैं, they are called anti-narcotics court. Anti-terrorist courts, they are established to deal the matters of the terrorism, and there are high specialized people who are appointed. Anti-corruption courts, okay, corruption, banking courts, consumer courts, NAB courts, fine, and other special courts like custom, taxation, anti-smuggling, income tax, services. Clear? So they are the special courts which are established one by one. Now, special tribunals, I have told you that under the Supreme Court there are special tribunals, and their position is the position of the High Court, and the judge of a High Court is the judge of the special tribunals. Okay, you got it? Now, how the court system functions? When something happens, first of all, for example, the system starts from the lower court. Clear? The system starts from the lower court, and then lower court to civil judge, and civil judge to, okay, lower court decides the matter. They are called trial courts. Once a matter is decided by the trial court, and either party, कोई भी शख्स ये चाहता है कि जो ट्रायल कोर्ट ने फैसला किया है वो ठीक नहीं है, तो बेटा सिविल जज की अदालत में चला जाएगा, सेशन जज। तो उसके पास दूसरी अपीलेट कोर्ट, इसे कहते हैं अपील कहाँ कर सकता है, सेशन जज के पास, दे आर कॉल्ड अपीलेट कोर्ट। अगर सेशन जज की अदालत जो है वो कोई फैसला दे दे एंड द पार्टी इज नॉट कन्विंस्ड, तो दे कैन गो टू हाई कोर्ट। तो फिर उनके पास अपील कहाँ की जा सकती है, इन द हाई कोर्ट। बट इफ समवन थिंक्स दैट द डिसीजन मेड बाय द हाई कोर्ट वाज नॉट अप टू द मार्क, और देयर वाज समथिंग लेफ्ट और मिस्ड, कोई बड़ी कानूनी गलती कर गया हाई कोर्ट, कोई बात उनसे छुपा ली गई, ओके, then they go to Supreme Court, okay, and the decision of the Supreme Court is the final. Clear? This is how the entire system functions. Okay, okay, with these I have told you, मैंने एक बात आपको बताई, let me talk in Urdu, कि court system is established to protect the rights of the people, the right of the public. Okay, the departments of the departments of the state. तो कोर्ट सिस्टम का मतलब है वो लोगों के हकूक को, लोगों की जान माल को और मुल्क की सालमियत का भी ख्याल रखते हैं। Thereby the courts have a special power. Clear? They are called inherited power of the courts. उनको हम लोग कहते हैं inherited power of the courts. Right? Then that inherited power of the court, in which judges and court can take decision, can take self action. Normal cases, we case suo moto, self action taken by the court. They have the powers of the court, that if the prime minister, especially the suo moto is with the high court, that if the highest court of the province thinks that some person, some department is giving dent and risking the life of the people at mass level, and he is altogether violating the law, then beta a writ can be filed, or Supreme Court or the High Court can take direct notice. Clear? This is called the suo moto power. And you know that former Chief Justice Iftikhar Chaudhary was famous for taking suo moto actions. Clear? Suo moto actions are not taken frequently because it is considered to be the interference into the other departments. Fine. The students, I'm sure that you have learned it, what is the court system of Pakistan, and there is another special court that is called Wafaki Muhtasib Court. Clear? If some person is found guilty violating some government official is violating the rules of law, they can be Wafaki Muhtasib. Clear? He has this powers to investigate from any person in power in service of the Pakistan. Thank you very much.